this paper, we demonstrate a visual analytics approach for understanding reasons behind snowballing and comeback in MOBA games. MOBA game is a subgenre of video games in which two teams launch coordinated attacks on each other's base. To strike a balance between delivering satisfactions for winning and achieving difficult challenges for players is the main consideration for game designers. In MOBA games, the game design and associated player performances are reflected in several types of game occurrences. In this paper, we focus on two main occurrences, which is snowballing and comeback. The visual analytics system contains 6 interactive fields to enable free exploration of MOBA gameplay data. When our game experts are using the system on their own, they tend to start with inspecting the player building radar and tactic comparison field to gain an overall impression of team performances. After that, they proceed to the trend field and resource time sequence field to locate the important time frames. Then they undertake a more detailed analysis of the events happening during these time frames in the tactic geographical timeline field and trajectory field. In the first case, our data analyst first gives attention to the player building information radar field to understand the players' performances. Then, they proceed to the tactic field to obtain a main idea of the evolution of tactical actions conducted by both sides. After that, they take a detailed analysis of the trend field to learn about the trajectory evolution of both camps and the changes in the resource accumulation. In the early stage of the match, the early advantaged teams mainly overwhelmed all the comebacks in the midfield. However, the main outcome they have achieved is only occupying or destroying the several relatively small towers. After around 1 minute, it's shown that the comeback teams start to gain advantages and march towards their opponents' spaces. With identifying the time of such occurrences, the experts filter out the important events to observe the timestamps and the corresponding resource changes before and after these events. The analysts then narrow down to collect some evidence. They observed that the early advantaged team sequentially destroyed an inner tower, defended troopers, assembled at the left side, and then destroyed another inner tower. After that, they decided to proceed and chose not to go back to get healed or wait for the equipment upgraded, which lead to defeat due to the lack of health points. The comeback occurs when the comeback team takes such advantage and kills the troopers, proceed to destroy 2 outer towers continuously. The experts observe in the resource field that the resource difference between two teams decreases to a great extent after such towers are destroyed. And there are increases in the comeback team's levels and equipment evolution, which make the comeback teams win comebacks in the later stage. In the second case, the analysts first noticed that the snowballing teams have a much better performances than the opposite camp through the views related to the overall performances. They observed through the trend field that in the initial phase, the snowballing team accumulates advantages by winning in the comebacks and destroying towers. Then they continue to overpower the opposite team that occupying light towers and interval comebacks until the end. By selecting the first 4-minute period, they discover after 2 comebacks that the snowballing teams win, they accumulate sufficient cash and experience to upgrade the player's equipment while the opponents still remains the same. Thus, the snowballing teams easily push down another 2 towers and continue to upgrade the defense equipment. The analysts also discover another reason why the disadvantaged teams cannot accumulate resources in other ways, such as sweeping creeps. It is because nearly all of the light towers are occupied, in which the snowballing teams can easily get to know the opponent's tactical actions, thus reach and come back with the opposite game to sustain their advantages. Our analysts find another pattern that frequently occurs in snowballing occurrences. It's often that certain players from one side contribute to most of the killing events in the initial phase before destroying towers. Thus, the snowballing occurrences is mainly due to the overwhelming performance of individual players. Thanks for watching.